Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday, December the 1st. Today, we are going to be looking at the leftover poems from yesterday, starting on page 119 of the PDF. And we're also going to be looking at some plural nouns today. At the end of this lesson, you are going to be completing a Google form for the plural nouns. So if you would like to take notes, make sure you have a piece of paper out and a pencil. First, let's start off by reading the remaining poems from yesterday, starting with the competition, and we'll be reading to page 125. I suppose everyone in Joyce City and beyond, all the way to Felt and Keys, and even Guyman, came to watch the talent show at the Palace Thursday night. Backstage, we were 17 amateur acts, our wild hearts pounding, our lips sticking to our teeth. Our urge to empty ourselves top and bottom made a sorry sight in front of the famous Hazel Hurd players. But they were kind to us, helped us with our makeup and our hair, showed us where to stand, how to bow, and the quickest route to the toilet. The audience hummed on the other side of the closed curtain. Ivy Huxford kept peeking out and giving reports of who was there, and how she never saw so many seats filled in the palace, and that she didn't think they could squeeze a rattlesnake into the back, even if he paid full price. The palace was so packed. My father told me he'd come once chores were done. I guess he did. The Grover boys let us off. They worked a charm. Baby on the sax, Jake on the banjo, and Ben on the clarinet. The Baker family followed, playing just like they do at home every night after dinner. They didn't look nervous at all. The tap dancers, they rattled their teeth in their jaws, and the eyeballs in their skulls, their feet flying, their arms swinging, their mouths gaping. Then Sunny Lee Halem tumbled and leaped onto the stage, the sweat flying off her, spotting the palace floor. Marsh Wharton struggled out, his accordion leading the way. George and Agnes Harkins ran their fingers across the strings of their harps, made you want to look up into the heavens for angels, but only scenery and lights and ropes and sandbags hung overhead. And then there was me on the piano. I went on somewhere near the backstage of middle, getting more and more jittery with each act till my time came. I played Bye Bye Blackbird my own way, messing with the tempo, and the first part sounded like I used just my elbows. But the middle sounded good, and the end I forgot I was even playing in front of the packed Palace Theater. I dropped right inside the music and didn't feel anything till after when the clapping started, and that's when I noticed my hands hurting, straight up to my shoulders. But the applause made me forget the pain. The audience roared when I finished. They came to their feet and I got third prize, $1, while Mad Dog Craddock singing 1 second, and Ben Grover and his crazy clarinet took first. The tap dancers pouted into their mirrors, peeling off their makeup and their smiles. Bertie Jasper claimed it was all my fault she didn't win, that the judges were just being nice to a cripple. But the Harp and Harkins were kind, and the Hazelhurd players wrapped their arms around me and said I was swell. And in the sweaty, dim chaos backstage, I ignored the pain running up and down my arms. I felt like I was part of something grand. But they had to give my ribbon and my dollar to my father, because I couldn't hold anything in my hands. February 1935. The piano player. Arlie says we're doing a show at the school in a week, Billy Joe. Come play with us. If I asked my father, he'd say yes. It's okay with him if I want to play. He didn't even know I was at the piano again till the other night. He's making some kind of effort to get on better now with me, since I did him proud at the Palace. But I say no. It's too soon after the contest. It still hurts too much. Arlie doesn't understand. Just practice more, he says. You'll get it back. You can travel with us again this summer if you'd like. I don't say it hurts like parched earth with each note. I don't say one chord and my hands scream with pain for days. I don't show him the swelling or my tears. I tell him I'll try. At home I sit at Ma's piano and I don't touch the keys. I don't know why. I play stormy weather in my mind, following the phrases in my imagination, saving strength, so that when I sit down at a piano that is not Ma's, when everyone crowds into the school for Arlie's show, no one can say that Billy Joe Kelby plays like a cripple. March 1935. No good. I did play like a cripple at Arlie's show. Not that Arlie would ever say it, but my hands are no good anymore. My playing's no good. Arlie understands, I think. He won't ask again. March 1935. And that is the end of our reading for today. That was left over from yesterday's Ed Puzzle. So today we're going to go over singular and plural nouns. So since this is a recording and we're not actually with another group of students right now, I just want you to take a quick note of what it means to be a singular noun. Singular noun simply means a person, place, or thing that there's only one of. One chair, one dish, one party, one box, one calf. Okay, we're going to look at how to make these plural in just a second. But these are all singular nouns. When you change a singular noun to plural, oftentimes the ending changes, whether you add on an S, an ES, an IES, or in the calf situation, you even change some letters, like F will change to V. These are all plural nouns. Mice, deer, bunches, potatoes, and children. Okay, if we were going to make these singular, it would be mouse, deer, which stays the same, bunch, potato, and child. So see, like on child, how we've added on the R-E-N. The potatoes, we add on the E-S. Bunches, the E-S. Deer stays the same as when we're talking about sheep. You can say a herd of sheep, meaning more than one, or just sheep. Okay. These are 6 sentences that contain plural nouns. If you want to pause the video and figure out which of the nouns in each sentence is the plural noun, please do so now. Okay, so in number 1, most parks have several benches. Parks is our plural noun because of the S, meaning multiple parks. And have several benches. Benches meaning more than just the one bench. We add an ES on the end. Figuring out where to add an ES just takes practice and an understanding of how to properly spell these words, because sometimes there's an ES and sometimes there's only an S. Number 2, students need to sit to give their feet a rest. Students is definitely the plural noun because there's more than one student, and also feet. Okay, the singular version of feet would be foot, one foot, but we each have 2 feet, meaning there was more than one. Number 3, the artists brought their sketch pads and pencils. Artists, meaning more than one, and pads and pencils, with those S's making them plural. Number 4, Ellen drew pictures of 2 deer near some trees. Okay, pictures, deer, and trees. Classes listened to their radios as they ate. Classes, radios. Flies buzzed around the bags filled with sandwiches. Flies, bags, and sandwiches. Okay, pause the video for a second and take a look at these mistakes. What are the errors in this 6 nouns? Okay, and number 1, freshmen should be changed to freshmen. We don't say all of the mans, we say all of the men. Classes. So typically whenever a word ends in an S and you want to show that there's more than one, so more than one class, you would add an ES instead of having triple S's. Days, we don't need an ES on this one, simply because there is a Y instead of an S, so it would just be an S. However, this changed with the word mysteries. Mysteries should be changed to MYSTERIES. Okay, one of the exceptions. You just know how to properly spell the word. Shelves, we need to change the F to a V, just like we did with calves earlier. And feet, we need to remove the S. Okay, we already say feet. Foot would be the singular. Today's focusing question is, how does hardship alter the character's perspectives in Out of the Dust? And our content framing question, what does analysis of Billy Joe's experience and her response reveal about her character? What does making peace with the past mean? Making peace means achieving freedom from mental strife or worry. With what does Billy Joe make peace? Her role in the accident with her mom, her relationship with her father, her hands being injured, and nature not giving her family what it needs, rain. So obviously Billy Joe has a lot of mental strife and concerns and physical concerns that are happening right now in her life. So all of these 4 bullet points are ways that she needs to make peace with herself and those around her. What are some examples of hard moments for Billy Joe from the last section we read? So in the Ed Puzzle yesterday, you read about Ma's haunting, knowing she can't change for her father like her mother did, the migrant family leaving and heading west, Billy Joe's hand still hurting a lot, Billy Joe sitting at Ma's piano and not touching the keys, and not playing well at Arlie's show. So all of these bullet points are showing hard points during our last reading that Billy Joe is currently struggling with, things that she can't seem to get a grip on, that it just seems things have gotten worse. What are some examples of hopeful moments for Billy Joe? The President's Ball, the free lunch, the migrants using the classroom as their temporary home, and the government giving Miss Freeland the confiscated sugar. So these 4 bullet points are showing ways that Billy Joe is hopeful in our last reading. So yesterday before the Ed Puzzle, we talked about what it means to be hopeful. It's having that feeling that something good is going to happen. And it's those little rays of positivity that come in the middle of despair. Okay, so even in the middle of all of the bad things, Billy Joe still sees a ray of sunshine. What are some moments that are hard and hopeful moments for Billy Joe? Billy Joe's father singing, the birth of the migrant baby, Billy Joe practicing piano, Billy Joe's return dream of playing the piano, and playing amazing piano at the Palace Theater. So while these are also difficult times for Billy Joe, like seeing that newborn baby and remembering her little brother passing away, they're also hopeful moments that good things are still happening. So today you are going to be finishing a Google form, plural nouns, for homework. It is worth 10 points, and you are going to be tested on what we covered with the plural nouns at the beginning of this lesson. If you have any questions, you may email Miss Rodas or myself, Miss Maddox, and we'll be happy to help you. Have a great day.